I'm going to preemptively switch to Zypeh's audio. So these two players are both relatively high-level runners. Zypeh is the best challenge mode runner in the community by a pretty healthy margin. Dane is the founder of Dane Skip, which is not a skip that we use in this run, but a respectable one nonetheless. So yeah, this will be interesting. Zypeh is, as I said, pretty nuts at challenge mode, but the skill set needed for challenge mode is kind of different than for full game. Not completely, but there's definitely a different level of consistency you need in order to run full game. There's slightly different routes you use between the two. So we'll see how that plays out, but Zypeh is definitely the favorite here to win. It'll be an upset if Dane wins, but not impossible. But Zypeh's already got a couple seconds of lead. Oh, it's really more than a couple, actually. It's pretty substantial. Actually, well, you'd expect Zypeh to do very well at these early maps because it's mostly, I mean, particularly a portal gun, it is just challenge mode. It's the same thing as challenge mode. Portal carousel, hot pattern-wise, it's roughly the same as challenge mode. So, you know, his challenge mode experience is definitely going to pay off for these earlier maps since they're not too different from what you do in full game. He's going to start to run into issues probably when he has later maps that have more complicated routes or different routes than challenge mode entirely. We'll see though. Dane's definitely having some issues pushing that cube through the door. That's made possible by putting the portal next to the door and then pushing the cube kind of near the portal but through the door. I think Zypeh messed up but threw the cube onto the button. That's pretty ridiculous. I don't know if he did that on purpose. The cropping's messed up. Is it? Oh, is Zypeh... Oh. I mean, it's not horrible. Yeah, I see what you mean, but... Yeah, okay, well... It's watchable. Ooh, Zypeh kind of bounces up, not too bad. He's got a pretty decent lead on Dane for early game, considering how high level these two players are. We're definitely going to be looking at more high level optimization. And that I think is, well, that's definitely going to be most of the difference between these two runners are just going to be movements and how many hops you can save doing, things like that. Yeah, Zypeh going through two maps here that are, and Dane now as well, going through two maps that are pretty much just bunny hopping. There's really no speedrunning tricks associated with these two maps in speedrun mod anyway. There is a cutscene in both maps. Secret panel, which Dane just finished, the cutscene is skippable, and in Wake Up it's not. This doesn't matter because we cut it out. Think you minded me. The cutscenes are gone anyway, so it's not horribly important, but you know, just little fun facts. See what Zypeh does here. Yeah, I wasn't sure he was going to do that. His experience really is very heavily with challenge mode, so stuff like that doesn't exist in challenge mode and is only in speedrun. We'll see if Dane does it. Basically what it is, by the way, is he's gonna, when he drops into the incinerator, okay, Dane doesn't do it. You can kind of bounce off of those shoot things in such a way that you end up on the right side, but in normal Portal 2, you're not able to move while falling into the incinerator, so this isn't, you know, something you would know unless you play speed mod often, which I don't think Zypeh does.
I've really let the place go since you killed me. Not bad. I forgot how good you are at this. You should pace yourself, though.
Okay. Yeah, he's going through laser intro with no problem there, and then laser stairs.
I just finished building them before you had.
You can see though, oh, he kind of messes up here actually, but you can see he knows like to place that portal on laser stairs in a really good spot. That's a good place to put it. You want it really close to the button like that. And it's a little optimization thing like that you don't see, you know, a lot of especially full game runners go for, because the difference it makes is just pretty small. It's often less than a second if you do it well. Maybe about a second.
One moment.
It's not the sort of time save that full game runners really prioritize, is what I
You're
mean to
navigating
say.
these
So
test chambers faster than I can build them. So feel free to
Zypeh is
slow
definitely going to gain a couple seconds here and there just because of things like that.
down. I'll give you credit.
Dane having a little bit of
Listening
trouble.
to
There we
me.
go.
But for the record,
Or did he?
you don't
I
have
thought he
to-
loaded a save there. Yeah, Zypeh with about a map lead on Dane now, but in Chapter 2 the maps are pretty short, so it's not
This next test involves
huge
the
lead.
Aperture Science aerial
But
faceplate. It was part of
he
an
did get a
initiative
lead
to
pretty quick,
investigate
considering,
the
as far as I can
subjects
remember,
when they were
or at least as far as I was paying
categorized.
attention, Dane didn't make any
Results were
tragic
highly
mistakes
variable.
yet.
Here's an interesting
And Zypeh's gotten a map ahead of him, so I
fact.
really do think the reason that we're gonna see differences in this is gonna just be because of little optimizations that add up over time.
Advanced aerial faceplates. Well, have fun soaring through the air without a care in the world. I have to go to the
But if Zypeh
woods
throws
to
something,
find the
Dane could definitely take advantage of that
kilometers
to make up a little bit of ground.
by myself. Oh, sorry. I'm still cleaning out the test chambers, so sometimes there's still trash.
Actually, I didn't see what route Zypeh used for catapult intro. Normally everyone does the same thing, but I wasn't sure what he was gonna do there. I was watching Dane's screen.
Before when I was talking about smelly garbage standing around being useless? Did you know that people with guilty...
Okay, I'm curious what Zypeh will do on pit flames. There's a couple routes that are decent. I think he's gonna go for...
I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I actually thought he was gonna go for triple reportal.
Anyway, just an interesting science fact.
But yeah, he goes for the super reportal. I do think it's a better route, but it's also a newer route, and it's not the fastest way to do it in challenge mode. At least, well, there's some discussion to be had there about which way is faster, but
This next test involves
I'm surprised Zypeh like took the time to practice that.
I told you about them in the last test area that did not have...
Oh, he was going for the... Yeah, I thought he was going to do that, to be honest. He didn't get the cube. No. Dane going for super reportal as well. And, ooh, that is recoverable when you get launched too high. What he's doing, by the way, he's getting stuck in the portal and then reportal himself a bunch of times. Whereas when the portal, when you're standing in the portal, it boosts you out when you shoot the opposite portal, so you can just use that to build up a bunch of speed. That's what that is, in case... I'll probably provide a few basic explanations of things here and there. If you have more specific questions about anything you're seeing, then let me know. But
piloting a blimp.
talking in depth about everything that's going on is not usually necessary.
Enjoy this next test.
Because a lot of people in chat are familiar with the
It's a
speedrun.
beautiful day out. Yesterday I saw a deer. If you solve this next test,
Okay.
maybe I'll let you ride an
Ooh,
elevator all
I'm
the
not sure
way
that's...
to the break.
Okay, no, it's fine. Zypeh does challenge mode ricochet, which is unusual. I've never seen anyone else do that in full game runs.
See the deer today. I did
I'm not even sure how you become consistent at that, to be honest. Or he just launches the cube in the air and it kind of works.
These bridges are made from natural light that I pump in from the surface.
But I think it's safe to say we won't be seeing Dane go for the same route.
It would be like
And he'll lose a
standing
couple seconds to
outside
that.
with the sun shining on your face. It would also set your hair on fire, so don't actually do it. Excellent. You're a predator, and these tests are your prey. Speaking
Dane didn't jump.
of good news, I figured out what to do with all the money I saved.
It's fine. He corrected for it. I guess he probably doesn't usually jump. That's just unusual. I suppose it is faster to not jump, so there's that. Zypeh having a little bit of issue with bridge the gap. Gets it. Not. I mean, he didn't throw too hard to it. At least, you know, I've seen runners lose runs to that, so
This next test involves
he's got that down.
remember them, right? They're the
Dane just working through bridge intro. It's not a horribly interesting map, bridge intro, and then Zypeh is just gonna
Good luck.
do turret intro. I don't know how he's gonna do the end. He'll probably just do it normally. Yeah, I'm interested in Zypeh's route decisions because of his challenge mode experience is pretty ridiculous, and the fact that he did the ricochet challenge mode route is really interesting. So I'm curious if he's going to do any other weird routes, so I'm keeping an eye on what he decides to do.
The point is, yesterday was your birthday. I thought you'd want to.
Alright, Dane did bridge the gap pretty well. I didn't see how his entrance was, but he did the chamber pretty fast, so
marking.
That's
It's
good.
right here in your file. On other people it looks fine, but right here a
Ooh.
scientist has noted.
Zypeh having a little bit of issue there. There's a
Well,
reportal to
what does a
recover that.
bearded old engineer know about fashion? He probably. Oh, wait, it's a she. Still,
Alright.
what does she know?
Uh-oh. Dane has a problem. He got lost. Honestly, surprised he didn't die. That was pretty questionable.
Telling you would spoil the surprise.
Fine though, no problem there. Alright, now the end of chapter 3, in my opinion, is probably the least interesting section of the run. As you just do intended routes, the chambers are kind of boring. I don't know. So Zypeh is just doing those 2 chambers. This is really the section of the run where you just pray that column blocker doesn't go horribly wrong, which is the first map of chapter 4. And that's the map right after the map that Zypeh's on, so hopefully he doesn't have an issue there.
I bet you think I forgot about your surprise. I didn't. In fact, we're headed to...
Okay.
I made it all up.
Yeah, but decisions like Zypeh does stair hops on stairs, that makes sense too. And a lot of full game runners just opt out of doing that because the amount of time it saves is just not big enough. But in the context of a race, if he's consistent at it, that's just more seconds he gets on Dane, and these sorts of decisions are adding up pretty fast. Zypeh going out of column blocker at 11 minutes. Dane going into, I think, pull the rug at 10:50 something.
And you have been asleep for a while. So I guess
So Zypeh's got about a 2-map lead now. Granted, pull the rug isn't a really long map. We're going into some longer maps now in chapter 4. Aside from triple laser, I guess. Interesting route decision from Zypeh, though. I don't know if he messed something up that got him there. I was watching Dane's screen, but...
I thought about our dilemma, and I came up with a solution that I honestly think... Federal regulations require me to warn you that this next test chamber is looking pretty good.
Ooh. Zypeh had a really, really awkward angle, it looked like, for triple laser.
I've got a surprise for you after
Glitch.
this next test. Not a fake, tragic surprise like last time. A real surprise. With What's going on?
Run! I don't need to do the voice. Run! Run!
Okay, so Zypeh now on the escape sections of the game. Dane having a little bit of an issue with laser chaining, but he turned out fine.
Run! For goodness
The
sake!
irony is you were almost at the
Okay.
last test.
No problem there.
Come on! Come on! Ah! What's going on? You okay? Great. I heard gunfire. It's a bit late. This turret.
See. Alright. Zypeh having no issue. I don't think he's gonna go. Yeah, no. There is a route you can do here that it skips having to run across these catwalks, but instead of doing this, you have to do a really awkward jump that goes wrong very often, so it's just is not worth it. It doesn't save that much time anyway. Dane now escaping from that first test track at the beginning of the game.
Okay, follow me. We've still got work to do. At least you can't touch us back here.
Looks like Zypeh plays through
Start down here, isn't it? They say
Turret Factory without any lights on, so
absolutely crazy.
yeah, it is a really dark section of the game, so we do allow you to turn on something that is similar to or is full bright.
Still hear the screams.
Um,
Their replicas.
just because we've had issues with runners not having monitors that are able to
No memory of the incident.
display that level of darkness well, so
Here's an interesting story. You might like this. I almost had a
having
job
some runners have to be completely blind going through that section is
with a former
unfair, so
only
we just allow that.
duplicate of himself, nepotism. Ended up giving me the worst possible job, tending to all the smelly humans.
Ooh. So we're having a little bit of running into walls, and so is Dane. Okay, so Dane now on Turret Factory also looks like he isn't turning on any light. It's really unusual for runners to not turn on lighting in this section, but... Oh, no, there he is. Okay, yeah. So you can see Dane's got his full bright. Oh. I thought Dane was going to fall down there. Surprised he didn't. Okay, so we'll see what happens here. What Zypeh is going to do. This is another section where there's a couple routes. He gets the turret. It's weird because it looks like he stops to get that turret, which is it's an unusual decision. Usually people will opt, if they have to stop for the turret, then they just won't get it. There is a route you can do without the turret. That's about as fast as if you get the turret right away. So I don't know. Stopping for the turret seems like a weird decision. I guess that's what you would do if... I'm sorry if you can hear that. There's something really loud outside. I'm not sure what that is, but hopefully it stops.
And 40 potato batteries. Embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you would go... I guess if you're not comfortable with the pancake shot, then you would stop for the turret, but I don't know. I'd expect Zypeh to be pretty comfortable with that shot. I guess maybe he's not. Oh. See, that's interesting. So Dane just misses the turret. He waits through the full duration of that cycle to get the turret rather than going for pancake. I don't know. That just seems like a strange decision.
There's our handiwork. I shouldn't laugh, really. They do feel pain of a sort. It's all simulated, you know.
But oh, and Dane doesn't get the portal. I don't know if he was trying to do that or not, but or whether he was. Okay. Zypeh got interesting cycle. I don't really know whether it was fast or not. It was hard to tell, but worked out okay. All right, Zypeh now in core, and you saw 2 Bride was just cut out of the game entirely because it's just a cutscene map, and this map too is pretty gutted. This is really like the mid-story turning point. So there's a lot of cutscenes in this section of the game, and because of that, it's very different in speed mod. As you can see, he's just going to put Wheatley straight into there, hit the button, and then jump down this pit, where normally there's several minutes of cutscenes in this map. But that puts him straight into Chapter 6. He skips Lone Fall, goes right into Underground, and he's just going to land here and move on. Dane runs into the elevator there. Actually, you're going to probably want to look at these runners. Oh, Zypeh got that shot really quickly. That's probably challenge mode at work. For those of you, by the way, if you don't know what challenge mode is, it's in the individual level speedrun. Yeah, they're individual level speedruns. It's a mode built into the game, so it's called challenge mode. And in individual level runs, you're gonna basically do everything ridiculously fast, because if you miss it, you just reset the level, because the runs are like 20 seconds long. But it's why you get different routes, and usually you slow things down a little bit in full game runs to make sure you don't mess up. Dane messed up though. Doing that panel skip, has to use portals to get around there, loses a couple seconds to that for sure. Dane's in the red, and he was losing time on that split. So Dane is not on PB pace. I didn't see whether Zypeh was in the red. I'll keep an eye on him for this. He's going to get a kind of tricky reportal. The timing's tough because you just get launched so fast out of there, but yeah, he gets it first try, which is fine. Yeah, Zypeh's in the red as well. Neither runner, it looks like, is in the red by a ridiculous amount. I don't know how much time save either of them have in their PBs later on in the game. It's likely that they have some, because chapters 6 and 7 are really the hardest chapters in the game, and particularly the map Zypeh's on right now, Repulsion Intro, is known to lose runners a lot of time, as well as Cape Johnson, which Dane is now just entering. So we'll just look out to see if there's a PB. They're a little more than one map apart, but they are longer maps. But that is kind of good news for Dane, because it looks like Dane hasn't... I haven't really been looking at the actual like timed difference between these two runs, but it looks like Dane hasn't really lost time to Zypeh in the last chapter or so, which isn't surprising. Chapter 5 isn't really a place that you lose time. But still, even with all the small optimizations that Zypeh's been doing, that Dane's been missing, that have really split these guys up. You'd expect that would have happened during Chapter 5, but it didn't seem to have happened too much. We'll see how Chapter 6 goes. Ooh, really weird. Okay, Dane having a really strange first room of repulsion intro. It didn't look fast. He did get that cube throw though, which is cool. All right, let's see what he does. And Dane just makes it up there. That's tough.
Most likely you've forgotten it's even there. But if it starts vibrating and beeping during this next test, let us know. Because that means it's about to hit 500. If you're hearing this,
interesting that Zypeh's not going for the stuck launch. That's a surprise to me. Because a lot of the faster routes, Zypeh would presumably have the most experience with, because he, obviously does the fastest possible routes in challenge mode, since that's what you need to do. So you think if he, since he's grinding them so much, I guess maybe he hasn't played Crazy Bucks recently. I have no idea. Yeah, definitely surprising to see him go for Ricochet challenge mode, but then not do Crazy Bucks stuck launch. And Dane also not going for stuck launch. So he's going to do this other route. Zypeh now going into Chapter 7. He's having some trouble with that shot. Okay, he got it from kind of a weird spot. It looks like he was too far forward. Ooh. Zypeh missing the reportal. Gets it second try. Oh, all right. So Dane going into potatoes. There's about a 2-map difference between the two runners at the moment. 2 shorter maps. Prop intro and potatoes are both definitely shorter maps, but Dane having a little bit of a moment on potatoes here. And Zypeh, it looks like, launched too high on propulsion flames, so both runners lost a little bit of time on their respective maps. Let's see what Zypeh decides to do for conversion intro. There is a skip that skips the test chamber and the elevator into the test chamber in this map, but on speed mod the elevator is so fast it's not. Yeah, it's questionable whether it's worth doing or not. It saves very little time, and that's if you do the skip fast, and the skip is very precise, so it's hard to do the skip fast. So yeah, I don't blame Zypeh for not going for it. I don't think I would either. It's definitely a skip you'd see in a full game run, but yeah, you see how fast that elevator is. Normally that elevator takes substantially longer to go through in a normal Portal 2 run, but speed mod speeds it up to just to reduce, waiting time. It's the whole purpose of the mod. Okay. Oh yeah, we'll see what Dane does when he gets to conversion intro. Dane also gets a high flame on propulsion flames. So yeah, he recovers that nicely, but yeah, he loses about as much time as Zypeh probably does on that map. Zypeh at 229, exiting conversion intro. So we'll see what happens to Dane. Oh, Zypeh doesn't get stuck properly. He's trying to get stuck, so he builds up a bunch of velocity while falling, and then just gets a ridiculous bounce like that. Yeah, Dane though. Dane is probably going to be at least a minute behind Zypeh by the end of conversion intro. Oh, he didn't have enough gel on the wall there. He can't get the reportal. That's going to lose him a lot of time. And unfortunately for Dane, most of the potential for for Zypeh to choke is in the mid game. So
For God's sake, your boxes.
probably not gonna see a change of lead now, especially with this big of a gap. It's unlikely Zypeh will lose this race. We'll see though. Zypeh. One thing though, as I said, Zypeh plays challenge mode, and we have Funnel Fly coming up on the next map right after where Zypeh is, and Funnel Fly. It's a glitch that basically disables gravity for you. It has pros and cons to using, but there's definitely maps on Chapter 8 where it's very helpful. And it transitions between maps though. So if you exit one map with the Funnel Fly glitch on, you will enter the next with the Funnel Fly glitch on. And because of this, you don't see the Funnel Fly routes in challenge mode because you can't carry a glitch from the previous level when you're doing just individual level runs. So we might. A lot of new runners struggle with Chapter 8 and 9. Zypeh is far from a new runner, but he might still just feel awkward doing these because I don't think he would be doing these routes very often. Because he doesn't really play full game, and these routes only exist in full game. Like that route that Zypeh just did. I mean, that's not the fastest route to do that chamber. That's not even the fastest easy route to do that chamber. That's just the entire purpose of the route is just to move the fly glitch into ceiling button where Zypeh is now. So it's just there's just routes that Zypeh you only do in full game, and that Zypeh probably doesn't interact with very often. I don't actually know off the top of my head what Dane does. I don't know whether he's more of a full game runner or a CM runner. I don't know much about Dane, so I can't really comment on whether Dane is going to have a similar issue there. I want to say that Dane is a full game runner, and the only reason I want to say that is because he's discovered Dane Skip, and Dane Skip is a glitch that's exclusive to full game. But I mean, that's a leap, I think. Dane kind of messes up test here, which is interesting. Ooh, he's really having a moment on test. I think he's predominantly CM. Okay, so yeah, you might see the same kind of awkwardness then from Dane on some of these later maps that you see from Zypeh, if any. I mean, these are good runners. They, I'm sure are at least decently comfortable with the Chapter 8 routes. He's 8th on Ivory. Yeah, okay. So Dane definitely plays a lot of challenge mode. So yeah, I actually don't really know which one of these runners would have more experience with full game. I still am inclined to say Dane, because I haven't heard of the last time Zypeh did a full game run aside from for this tournament. So yeah, I'm inclined to say Dane, but both runners are in CM, so who knows. Okay. Zypeh no longer has fly, by the way, in case you didn't notice. He ditched it in polarity because these maps are faster without it. Interesting route choice from Zypeh. It probably saves some time. Oh. Okay. So the cube fell off Zypeh's button, and now his game is paused. I'm not sure why. Something probably came up where, I don't know. It may have got interrupted. Paused again. Not sure what he's doing. I don't know if he's typing in. Oh, he is. Okay. Oh, he broke his mouse. Okay. Okay, he's just going to be quickly adjusting his mouse. Yeah, and then he's going to just recover this without a save, which is kind of slow. So yeah, really slow stop the box, and unfortunate issue with his mouse, but he's got a pretty healthy lead on Dane, so it shouldn't really matter. Since I think I don't know. Yeah, it seems like a PB is pretty out of the question for Zypeh. He's in the red at the start of this map. I don't know how far behind Dane is. Dane's having some trouble with the Great Shot, though, so he's definitely losing time. Okay. Goes for the CM throw. Oh. That's unfortunate. The cube just went right off. That's crazy. It didn't look like it was going to happen. All right. Dane misses that box,
Was self-destructing, already fixed. Program
and he misses the faith play. Dane is definitely having a moment. I don't think Dane's going to PB.
Sorry about the lift, it's out of service. Because it might as well, give you the tour. To your left,
But,
you see some lights of some
yeah,
kind. Don't know what they
that's
do, but very sciencey anyway.
yeah, that's unfortunate for Dane. And then Zypeh
Oh,
gets
you're alive! Great!
the
Yeah, just,
chocolate chip
get a,
milkshake skip.
test ready for...
A lot of people are angry about the fact that there's so many flavors of milkshake, but listen, I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
Test ready.
Uh,
Honestly, who else would I be doing it for? No one?
Zypeh having some trouble with this route.
No one?
This route's not too difficult. I think this is just an issue of not having a whole lot of practice with it. I don't know, he might not have been strafing right into the portal, and that usually helps a lot with that.
Alright, he's not even trying to be subtle anymore. Or maybe he still is, in which case, well, that's kind of...
Only 3 more chambers to your big surprise. Oh, that's tiring.
Okay, Zypeh headed out of Chapter 8. Dane, see what Dane does here. He's gonna go for some kind of milkshake maneuver.
I'll bet you're both dying.
He's getting just chocolate, where he is blind.
Well,
So hopefully he doesn't miss this. He has to navigate into the... Oh, that's not good. Yeah, he missed it. He has to navigate into the level trigger while blind. It's not actually that hard. It sounds harder than it is, but you do have to, not mess it up.
no, don't do that. Hello.
And we'll see if Dane gets the propulsion catch flame, and he gets that. Yeah, it looks like he strafed right. He ended up coming out in a very different spot, and that's where you want to be. What Dane did was good.
Can't help but notice.
Zypeh going through finale 1.
Which is disappointing. Oh, I've got an idea.
If I had to guess, I think we're gonna see a 33 something from Zypeh. Dane, can't quite say the same for Dane.
Did something break back
I think Dane's gonna be a 34.
there? A bullet-riddled body fly out the roof. It was... Oh, those were the crap turrets, weren't they? Yeah. Well, no.
That's possible we see a 32 from Zypeh. I'm not really sure how realistic that is.
All houses.
It could happen.
Play cards, meaning to learn. Anyway,
I'm actually not sure if it's possible.
Ace of 4s, the best hand. Unbeatable.
I don't know splits that well for this. You'd think I would, but I don't. Zypeh doing his route that no one does except for Zypeh. I forgot about that route, yeah. Interesting route. I mean, it's not slow, so give him that.
Crashing's too good for him. First, he'll spend a year in the
Zypeh is accidentally floating. There we go. That's the thing is, yeah, when you're in fly, you don't have control of your vertical momentum. So if you're like just above the ground and you want to be on the ground, you have to like figure out a way to get down because you can't just go down.
Okay, I'll take that as a no then.
Yeah, 32 might be possible from Zypeh. It'll be tight. It'll be very tight. Okay, it might not be that tight. He should be fine. Yeah, okay, so Zypeh I think is gonna get a high 32 now. Dane about probably... I mean, yeah, Dane can't get a 32, that's for sure. He probably... I don't know if he can get a 33. Hard to say. I wonder if Zypeh is going to do Bomb Preserve here. It doesn't save a lot of time. Yeah, he is. It doesn't save a lot of time on Speedrun mod, but it's pretty easy to do. It's pretty free, so I don't see why you wouldn't do it. Like, it's not really something you're going to ever mess up. And if you did somehow mess it up, then you just do it the normal way, and you don't lose time, so... 32.56, that's a good prediction. I'm going to be a little more optimistic. I'm going to say 32.53. Oh, he just reported his time. I was wrong. I won't tell you whether you were right or not. Looks like I could be wrong. It looked like Zypeh might have forgotten to... I don't know. It looked like his portal funneling was off. He was kind of moving around a lot up there.
Stalemate resolution associate. Please press the stalemate resolution button.
Okay, so he misses early moonshot. So everyone's predictions very slightly off, but 32-56 is the winner. That is the closest one. Dane, I think, is going to get, I'm going to say 34:05. I don't really know. I didn't see what time he entered the map, so it kind of throws my prediction game off, but yeah, no, 34:05 is too early, I think. No, I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Silly me saying 34:05. 34:08, I might still be early. I'm thinking maybe like a 34. I think he might still get 30 sub 34:20. Maybe. Oh, that's not good. Oh, he went for a throw. Oh no, Dane. Oh, that's not good. Okay. 34:30. Nice spoilers, Dane. Yeah, you kind of a little bit of a mess up there on the third core though. Oh, and he misses early moonshot as well. And Dane is in the green, by the way, and he PBs. That is Dane's PB, is long as, unless his live split doesn't have his PB on it. Oh, Dane just said this is not his PB. He was off by 9 seconds, so I guess his live split doesn't have the splits for his PB. All right, so I'm going to see if we go to another race. I'm going to give Zypeh a point here. Okay. Dane says he wants to do a second race. So we will be doing another race. Yeah, Zypeh is a little bit concerned for his mouse skate, which fell off during the last run. But as long as Zypeh can play for a while without that happening, then he should have a decent enough lead to have that happen later in the run, like what happened here. Anyway, the runners are going to reset their games and set up for another race. So we're just going to be waiting on that. Yeah, that wasn't horribly close. It was about a minute and a half difference. Neither runner had anything disastrous happen during that run that I can think of. They definitely, I mean, there were definitely mistakes, but there were no disastrous runs. But yeah, Dane has I guess it's a 34:21 then is his PB. And Zypeh has I think a 32-second PB. I'm sorry, 32-minute PB, 32 something. I'm not positive on that. It might be a 31, but the difference in PBs is pretty substantial. But if Zypeh plays really badly all of a sudden, or his mouse falls apart, then we could see a bit of a comeback from Dane. So interested to see what happens here. So just waiting for both runners to, okay. All right, I've counted them off. We're waiting on the stream delay now, and we're going to be going into race 2 of Zypeh versus Dane, Portal 2 speedrun mod. For anyone who's just coming in, if you're not familiar with anything you see, including the speedrun mod itself, let me know, and I will explain anything you want. So just ask questions, but there's a lot of weirdness that goes on during Portal speedruns, so I'm not going to talk about every single thing that happens, because if no one is curious, then I'm missing commentary opportunities for the race. So ask away, though, if you see something that you want to know more about. Okay. So we're just waiting on the stream delay now. I'm predicting, based on how that first race went, that Zypeh is going to take
And again, welcome to
the second race, provided his mouse doesn't sabotage him too much.
and emergency testing will
But it didn't seem to affect it. His mouse fell apart during Stop the Box last race. And after Stop the Box, it seemed like he was playing okay. So he should be fine.
remains an important tool for science, even in a dire emergency.
If his mouse falls apart once or twice during this race, he'll probably still be okay. He had a pretty decent lead on Dane, but yeah, he's going to want to play well now, just in case something goes wrong with his hardware.
You are simply experiencing a rare reaction in which the material emancipation grill may have emancipated ear tubes.
But yeah, we got some of the boring maps, these first few maps that you don't have a portal gun for, and then we're going to see. Fun fact, going into Portal Gun, Zypeh, I believe, has had the world record for Portal Gun for like 7 years or something like that. He's had it for a while. He's improved upon his own world record, I'm pretty sure, but he's had this world record for a while. It doesn't look like he had the most phenomenal start in Portal Gun, but it's not a big deal. It's a full game run.
Some emergency testing may require prolonged interaction with lethal military androids. Rest assured that
Okay. Zypeh finishing at 108, and Dane running into the elevator and finishing at 111. So Zypeh with a 3-second lead. Leads during the early game don't really mean anything, though, especially small ones, because the things that can happen later in the game. And Zypeh messing up getting the cube through the door. Dane having trouble too. It's not that hard, but occasionally it can be stubborn. And so it's just unlucky for both these runners. Zypeh finishing 136, Dane finishing 140, so it's now a 4-second difference. Zypeh could have, or I'm sorry, Dane could have definitely gained that ground back had he not messed up the cube, because Zypeh gave him an opportunity there, but... Ooh, Zypeh having... Oh my gosh, both runners having some trouble doing cube momentum. Zypeh leaving at 157, Dane leaving at 2 minutes, 3-second difference. So okay, so I mean, this is a pretty constant. Like Zypeh's a couple seconds ahead, but they're pretty much neck and neck, and there's not really any change of lead at the moment. Dane was a little slower going through that first room. And Dane has a tragic future starter. Yeah, so Dane's definitely going to lose time there. I think Zypeh left at like 224, 225. Dane's going to be leaving 10 seconds later. So that's a pretty decent lead for Zypeh. About 10 seconds. It's nothing. I mean, it's not, huge. It's definitely something that we could see. We've seen them lose more than 10 seconds later in the run before, so we'll see what happens. Got a movement chamber now. Wake up. Dane stubs his toe, loses all his speed. Has to go there. And Zypeh's a little slow going down that hole, but these are little things. Zypeh exiting 315.
Here we are, the incinerator room.
So Dane is his lost time against Zypeh.
Once tested, good.
Yeah, Dane now at 330. Dane's ahead of his PB though. I don't know if Zypeh is. Probably isn't anymore after that incinerator. Giving Dane a little bit of opportunity to catch up. So we'll see how Dane's incinerator is, because if he plays this well, he's gaining time on Zypeh.
Sorry about the mess. I've really
Ooh, plays it a little slowly. He doesn't really make any mistakes. He's just playing it careful. He gets that jump without a problem, which is, the jump's free, but Zypeh messed it up. It's kind of... I'm no stranger to messing up that jump, though.
I just finished building them before you had your...
So let's look at the time differences with laser stairs here.
The test results. You are a horrible.
Zypeh exits laser stairs at 4:14. Dane enters it at 4:12. So
horrible person thing disgusts you.
the gap is widening.
If it makes you feel any better, science has now validated your birth mother's
Oh,
decision to abandon
Dane
you on a doorstep.
doesn't quite get that cube there. It's a stubborn cube, and it falls off the button. So now he's no doubt frustrated, and he's no longer ahead of his PB.
Emerge from suspension.
He's over 20 seconds behind Zypeh now, and about a map. It's about a map difference now.
One moment. You're navigating these test chambers faster than I can build them, so feel free to slow down and do whatever it is you do. I'll give you credit.
Zypeh hitting Wetmaker without a problem.
Listening to me. But for the record, you don't have to go.
Zypeh has reported his game's crashed, so he's going to be recovering that.
This next
We do have the tools necessary to fix this, or to recover a game crash. Alright, Zypeh gets the cube jump on Catapult intro, without a problem. We'll probably see the crash soon. Maybe on the level transition, we'll see.
Let's see what the next test is. Oh,
Yeah, game crashes are really unfortunate, though, because they're a pain to fix, and they also likely will lose the runner time because he has to load his game back from the most recent save he's made. Ooh. I think that was his crash. So yeah, Zypeh misses that strafe, tries to load a save, and his game crashes. So I'll switch over to Dane's audio while we wait for Zypeh to fix that. Don't worry, though. Zypeh is not disqualified for that. He is going to reset his timer and set an offset that, and he's going to offset his run by how much time was on his timer before, and then just start back up again from the most recent save he has. So that's fine. So Zypeh just working in the console over there fixing that up. Meanwhile, Dane going into pit flames. So we'll see how the super reportal goes. It's probably the easiest super reportal in the game, at least in my opinion. It just kind of works. It's the only one that's really like from the that you launch from the floor. All right, Zypeh's having trouble with his timer.
Remember, I told you about them in the last test area that did not have one.
Yeah, Zypeh. I mean, Zypeh isn't a full game runner, so he probably is. He's only so experienced, I'm sure, with a lot of the full game stuff. Just because, or at least he hasn't done a lot of it recently, because he doesn't play full game. But Zypeh's timer is not running yet. Okay, I think Zypeh is working on it. And Dane, does he do this reportal? No, he doesn't. Okay, a lot of runners opt out of doing that. So he just flames himself up there and no problem. See how Ricochet goes. Ricochet is definitely a potential point of time loss. Once Zypeh gets his game on track, there we go. I might delay Dane. I think I'm going to delay Dane. Let me do that real quick. Okay, so I'm not really sure how many seconds I've offset. I guess probably about 2 minutes. It's yeah, so Zypeh's going into pit flames, Dane going into bridge intro, but okay, I'm just gonna give Dane 120 seconds of pause. Okay, so Dane's stream is going to freeze. At some point. Oh, Dane got confused there about where that glass is. You can push it through the glass, but it's not usually advisable.
You're a predator, and these tests are your prey. Speaking of...
Ooh, Zypeh having a little bit of trouble with the super reportal.
to do with all the money I save recycling your one room full of air.
Also, Dane's stream didn't freeze.
I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby. That way future generations can learn.
I don't know if it's just stream lag or
That way future
if it actually just didn't do any. Oh, there we go. Okay. Switch over to Zypeh's audio. All right. So we're going to see how much Zypeh catches up in this time while his timer catches up to Dane here.
remember I told you about them in the last test.
He does go for the slower route on Fizzler and Show. I don't know if he missed the first one. I was switching the audio. I did not see, but I'd imagine he'd go for the faster one because it's pretty easy to do, and well, he already does it in challenge mode, so you'd think he would be used to it. It doesn't quite get that portal cut there. I'm assuming that Zypeh is going to pass Dane in this time that we've paused Dane's stream because he was ahead before the crash, and I don't think he would have lost a ton of time to the crash. Maybe a couple seconds loading from his last save, but
majestically, like an eagle. Pilot
yeah, he's probably going to pass Dane.
this next test.
It would be exciting if he didn't, though. I mean,
It's a beautiful
it definitely looks
day
like it's going to be
out. Yesterday I
close.
saw a deer. If you
He
saw
still has
this
2 maps to
next
get through.
test, maybe I'll let you ride an elevator all
Oh.
the way up to the break room.
Uh-oh.
And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
That drives me crazy that he's able to just do that consistently. Like, that's
Well, you passed
a
the
really
test.
weird route.
I didn't see the deer today.
I mean, it's faster. It's the challenge mode route, but I didn't think that you could make that consistent. So I'm impressed.
These bridges are made from natural light that I pump in from the surface.
I'm actually not sure Zypeh is still ahead.
Fun one. It would be like standing outside with the sun shining.
It doesn't
on
look
your
like he
face.
is. It's
It'd also
close.
set your hair on fire, so don't actually do it.
Dane did mess up the end of bridge intro.
You're a predator, and these tests
Yeah, it's
are your
looking
prey.
like there's Dane going. Yeah, okay. The timers aren't going to be perfect here, but
I figured out what to do with all the money I saved.
We'll see how close it
recycling your
is.
One room full of air. When you die, I'm going to laminate your skeleton and pose you in the lobby.
Dane.
That way, future generations can.
Okay. Oh, Zypeh messes it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Dane is pulling ahead here.
From you how not to have your
Well, yeah, it was close, but with this bridge the gap is from Zypeh, he's definitely going to be ahead.
Well done. In fact, you did so well. I'm going to note this on your
Yeah.
file in the commendation
All right.
section.
Dane wrapping up turret intro at
This
9:29.
next test involves turrets. You're in
There's
the
no chance
right.
Zypeh is finishing turret intro by 9:29, so
Oh, wait.
we'll see what happens. I'm not sure where Zypeh lost all of his time. He definitely had a little bit of a moment on Ricochet, but I don't know, maybe Dane has just been playing very well. Not sure. But Zypeh is about what is that, 16 seconds behind?
Maintain a constant testing cycle.
So the difference isn't huge. Oh, you're right, he did have a pretty bad pit flames. That's true. That's probably it. And Zypeh now. Oh, okay.
I thought you'd want to know.
Got through laser relays in a creative recovery. That was good.
That's not me talking. It's right here in your file. On other people, it looks fine. But right here, a scientist has noted.
Oh, Zypeh subs his toe.
Well, what does
Slows
it
him
matter?
down. Dane now in the not as interesting section of the game.
Probably. Oh, wait. I'm going through the list of test subjects in cryogenic. I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test. Telling you would spoil the surprise. So I'll just give you a hint. It involves meeting two
Oh.
people you haven't seen.
Yeah, Zypeh having a bit of a moment there. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's like, he has to catch up. And his weapon, I think Zypeh's greatest advantage here is just his little optimization. Just the fact that he's just, plays slightly faster than Dane usually, but yeah, Zypeh's not been having that as much. He's definitely been making more mistakes.
Nobel Prize winners. It doesn't say what the prize
And
is.
yeah, it's still not quite a maps difference between Zypeh and Dane. Well, it's close. I mean, Poldarog's a small map, but we'll see. Oh, Dane got unlucky with column blocker there. He had to go for that, go back for that cube. But That RNG might get patched in later versions of the speedrun mod, where it's kind of random where the cube lands there, and it impacts your time on that map by a couple seconds,
Come on.
depending on where it
If
lands.
you feel any better, they abandoned you at birth. So I'm
Dane
only serious
finishing
about
column
anything
blocker
you
at
want to see.
1141. Zypeh had a better column blocker, and now Zypeh's finishing at 1144. So it's only Zypeh's only 3 seconds behind. He's caught up very quickly.
Comedy equals tragedy plus time.
So if you're
And
Dane, you should be
have been
nervous.
asleep for
Oh,
a
okay, yeah,
while.
Zypeh does
So
do
I
the
guess
fast
it's
route on this. I wasn't
actually
sure.
pretty funny when you do the math.
Zypeh doing the fast route here, provided he doesn't mess it up, will probably gain some time on Dane. So we'll see what happens here. Dane finishing laser chaining at 12:14. Zypeh does choke a little bit. He's definitely still behind, but
I thought about our dilemma,
not by a
and I
ton.
came up with a solution that I
12:19. So
Federal
some weird noises
regulation
going on outside my
required
window.
to warn
Hopefully you
that
guys
this
can't hear
next
that.
test is looking
I'm not sure what that is.
good. That's right.
And
The
Zypeh
facility is
making
completely
some mistakes on
operational.
triple laser. He's got to stop making these mistakes, or he's going to be looking at a third race. And I don't think he wants a third race because he's very nervous about his mouse.
I've got a surprise for you after this next test. Not a fake, tragic surprise like last time. A real surprise with tragic.
All right,
What's
Dane
wrong?
going to jump over this, and yeah, he doesn't get the fast version of it, but he got it, which is good.
I'm closing the doors. Okay, quick recap. We are escaping. All right, that's what's happening now. We're escaping. So you're doing great. Just keep running.
Dane finishing jailbreak at 13:08.
Got in store.
Yeah, Zypeh's still behind.
Almost at the last
Turn
test.
off for a neurotoxin and then confront her. Again, though, for the moment.
Not by a ton. Still, yeah, 6 seconds behind. They're staying pretty. I mean, this is the section of the game that usually there's not a ton of time loss for people to take. Dane does not jump around that invisible wall there, though. He does take the long way. Zypeh will probably jump around the invisible wall, which will save him a couple seconds, which he needs. And he gets it. So, okay. Dane now finishing 13:44, finishing escape. Zypeh still behind, but less behind. 13:46. It's a 2-second difference between these two runners right now. Dane now. Weird that Dane doesn't turn on full bright until he's already like in the first, like gone through the first section of the map. I wonder why he does that. It's at the same spot every time, it looks like. So this is a movement contest. Zypeh's 2 seconds behind. Let's see if he can catch up. This is a map that's been really popular to run recently in challenge mode also. So there's people are pretty well practiced. I don't know whether Dane or Zypeh have actually been running it though, to be fair. But a lot of people have been grinding this, so I wouldn't be surprised if one of them have been spending some time here. Yeah, it definitely looks like. Ooh, Dane has an issue there. That alone was probably the difference that Zypeh needed to catch up. So I think Zypeh's gonna pull ahead here. Ooh, yeah. Zypeh finishing at 14:46. Dane now 7 seconds behind Zypeh. So yeah, Zypeh takes the lead back. And hopefully his mouse doesn't fall apart. It is only 7 seconds, but also Dane won't do pancake shot. I don't know if Zypeh will. Zypeh didn't last time, but he didn't have a terrible cycle with the turret. And so if he had a worse cycle, he would have gone for it. Dane had the worst possible cycle with the turrets and still opted to wait. All right, Zypeh grabs a turret without having to stop. And Dane is gonna stop here. That's gonna lose him most of his lead, actually.
Thank you very well. See that scanner out there? It's just, well, that should do it.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant! That's brilliant.
So we'll see what happens here. Oh wait, I'm sorry. No, Dane's not in the lead. Dane's just gonna lose more time against Zypeh here.
I mean, fair enough. The important thing is bring your daughter to work day. That did not end well.
So
And 40 potato batteries.
we'll just see how much of a difference it is.
Low-hanging fruit and all that. Fairly science, really. Don't worry, I'm absolutely guaranteeing you 100% that it's the... Okay, let's try this way. All right, now, she can't use her turrets.
So Zypeh finishing out turret sabotage at 1606. Dane is probably 15-20 seconds behind.
I knew we were going the right way. This is the
Yeah.
neurotoxin generator. Bit bigger than I expected. Not going to be able to just...
Yeah, 19 seconds.
Have to... there's our handiwork. I shouldn't laugh, really. They do feel pain of a sort.
But we do have there. I mean, they're still relatively close. 20-second lead it's substantial, but it's not ridiculous. It's definitely within the realm of possibility for people messing up, particularly for Zypeh messing up Chapter 6 and 7, and to give Dane back the lead. Zypeh didn't show any signs that I remember of throwing anything in Chapter 6 or 7. He definitely made mistakes, but nothing went horribly wrong for him. There's nothing went horribly wrong for Dane either. They pretty much stayed within like a minute to a minute and a half of each other for that entire section of the game.
Stalemate resolved.
No, stop.
Ooh, Dane doesn't quite fall straight in there. Zypeh entering Chapter 6 at 17:10. Dane falling further behind, it looks like. He gets the button. And yeah, Dane now more than 20 seconds behind. Zypeh had a pretty good underground last run, and he's moving pretty fast. Ooh. He missed that shot though. Okay. Oh, he still get uh-oh. Zypeh's having a bit of an issue with this shot down the chasm. I'm not sure what the trouble is there. Okay. It's an odd thing to mess up. I don't think I've seen that lose that much time before yet in this tournament. Uh-oh, and Zypeh having trouble. Okay. Well, that'll lose in some time. Not enough. Dane is... I mean, Dane has to be quick here to try and gain some time against Zypeh. Zypeh also misses getting on the railing at Cave Johnson, so the gap is closing. But the two hard tricks in Cave Johnson, Zypeh's now going into this one, and he's having some trouble. Dane falls into the goo and loads a bad save in underground, which now he has to recover from an autosave, so he's going to lose a bunch of time from that mess up. Zypeh finishing Cave Johnson 1838. Dane probably going to, yeah, my guess is he's going to be 30 seconds behind, especially after that screw up again there.
You're not part of the control group, by the way. You get the gel. Last poor son of a gun got blue paint. All joking aside, that did happen. Broke every bone in his legs.
Okay.
Informative, or so I'm told. The lab boys just
Dane
informed me
is...
that I should not have mentioned the control group.
Yeah, no, this Chapter 6 has already done its number on the difference between these two runners' times.
Gizmos that are going to travel into your bloodstream and pump experimental genes and RNA molecules and so forth into your tumors.
Oh, Zypeh, yeah, he didn't shoot that portal low enough, and he did not get high.
If you sat on a folding chair in the lobby,
Gets up there without an issue, second try. To look at how far apart they are now after they both made mistakes. It's just which one made worse mistakes, I'm not sure. I think Dane made worse mistakes. I'm pretty sure he still lost time against Zypeh. Zypeh, 1944.
all these science fears are made of
Oh, I don't know. Actually, oh, Dane messes up here. Okay, that's not good for him.
dry cough or your heart stopping.
Gets up second try, just like Zypeh did, but he's got to make mistakes that Zypeh's, or I'm sorry, he's got to do routes correctly where Zypeh is messing up in order to catch up. So hate to see that.
Own rules, just like me. Just a heads up, that coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent.
Yeah, it's looking like about a 30-second difference between Dane and Zypeh. And at this point, about a map lead. Bombfleens is relatively short, but
We implanted a
still,
microchip about the size of
you don't want to see that if you are Dane. And Zypeh
vibrating and beeping during
having some trouble with this strafe.
because that means it's about to hit 500 degrees, so we're going to need to go ahead and get that out of here.
There we go. Takes him 3 tries to get that. So
If you're hearing this, it means you're taking
Dane will probably gain some ground on him through that. Remember, oh no, I don't think either runner had it. Did either runner have an issue with this strafe at the end of Crazy Box? Oh, well now someone's having an issue. Zypeh misses the strafe twice. Yeah, Zypeh's having an absolute disaster run of Crazy Box. Dane does do a slower route at the beginning here than Zypeh, but he does it first try, so he definitely was faster. Zypeh wrapping up Crazy Box 2104. One thing I do get the sense of though is that I feel like Dane, I mean, even when they're not messing up, they're just running from one point to another. I feel like Dane is just playing a little bit slower. He's playing like a full game runner, but I feel like Zypeh is playing like more like a CM player. He's just going, yeah, about a 20-second difference now between the two. So Dane definitely gained time on Zypeh. Not enough. Chapter 6 definitely is the most upsetting chapter in the game. So now that we've seen the results of that, we can start to get an idea of what this race is going to shape out to look like at the end. And yeah, with Dane 20 seconds behind going into the last map of Chapter 6, it's not good for him. Let's see how Zypeh handles Chapter 7, particularly Conversion Intro and 3 Gels, which are really the two maps that are most prone to, I say that, but he's messing up Propulsion Flames. Ooh, Dane messes up the reportal. Ooh, he's really having trouble there. Okay. Looks like he's got it, yeah. So he's definitely lost time against Zypeh there. He can probably gain it back in Prop Flames. Prop Flames is a pretty consistent map, so I wouldn't expect both runners to mess up Prop Flames. He doesn't have the greatest entrance, but he's, you know, he got the bounce up there without a problem. And oh, bad bounce. I feel like he's too far to the left, but that could just be me. Yeah, he gets a high bounce too. We've been seeing a lot of high bounces from Propulsion Flames. I'm not sure what's up with that. But yeah, that wasn't great from Dane. He probably wasn't much faster than Zypeh on Prop Flames. And Zypeh gets that reportal first try. That reportal's pretty easy, but can be really stubborn. Can be frustrating. Dane had an issue with it, if you remember last run. So for Dane's sake, you hope he doesn't do that again, because he really needs to play well, and hope that Zypeh makes a few more mistakes for him to just catch up. Let's actually check what the conversion intro end times are here. So Zypeh finishing at 23:36. See what Dane does. Dane took his time making sure that gel was on the wall, because that was his problem last time. Yeah, I think Dane, he's gonna be at least 20 seconds behind. If not close to 30. Yeah, at some point he lost time against Zypeh. I'm gonna go ahead and say that was probably Propulsion Intro, and he probably played Conversion Intro a little more slowly as well. But he's about 25 seconds behind Zypeh. Ooh, okay. Zypeh not baiting the pipes there on 3 gels, and I think he did last time, so he was a little slower, but Dane's not getting stuck. There we go. And now we're going into Chapter 8. Chapter 8 is... Chapters 8 and 9 are mostly the easy chapters. There's a couple maps on Chapter 8 that definitely are questionable. But with Dane now having to do this launch again because he didn't get high enough, that's just not good. That's a lot of time that he loses, and he's definitely going to be more than 30 seconds behind Zypeh after this. And yeah, falling off those pipes, that's not good for Dane. Zypeh starting out... Oh, and Dane can't get the 2 bounce. There we go. Not a great 3 gels from Dane. I don't know what Zypeh was doing just there, but that was different.
I have to test all the time, or I get this itch. You know, it must be hardwired into the system or something. Oh, but design this tech.
All right.
Oh, yes. good. Oh, here's an idea. Since making tests, and nothing. All right, can't blame me for trying. Okay, new tests.
Zypeh exiting test at 25:45. Yep. And yeah, I think it's safe to say Dane will be
Good. I just invented some more tests.
decently behind that.
Not entirely. Not entirely. Look at the word test there on the wall. That's brand new.
Ooh, Zypeh having interesting funnel intro. He did catch that. Okay, that was fine. Looking at Dane here, Zypeh finished test at 25:45. Dane is over 30 seconds behind now. But Zypeh had a questionable funnel intro. He can gain some time back. He definitely can't gain 30 seconds back, though.
Oh, yeah.
See if Dane plays this well. Oh, is this just a route? I'm not sure. Maybe Zypeh didn't have a questionable funnel intro. I'm not actually sure what's happening. I was watching Dane's screen. Zypeh definitely having a questionable ceiling button, though. Alright, Zypeh exiting ceiling button at 26:59. Dane messing up the jump right at the beginning and having a weird drifting thing there, so
Don't start yet. Don't start yet. You are not going to
lose some seconds to that for sure.
Hundreds of perfectly good test chambers just sitting there, filled with skeletons.
See how different their times are, though. We're from 26:59. Oh yeah, definitely Dane gained a lot of time back. He's only 13 seconds behind, if I'm not confused. I don't know where he got all that time from. That's a lot. It's good on Dane, though. Catching up in Chapter 8 is definitely something you like to see, especially when now it's, you know, relatively close.
If I'm such a moron, why can't you solve a simple test?
Okay, so Zypeh is going into funnel catch, where you have great shot, which can be very stubborn and also can generate crashes. And if either of their game crashes, that could lose them enough time having to load back from an autosave. Particularly Zypeh, is if Dane loses time, then that's just, you know, he's just getting further behind.
Oh, what was that? That was nothing.
Zypeh was okay, though. So Zypeh finishing out at 28:10 from funnel catch. Dane's gonna have to play pretty well if he wants to stay within like 15 seconds behind.
Just moving the old test chamber a little bit closer to me.
He should, no, he should be fine actually. Yeah, that'll be fine. Ooh, just barely doesn't get the throw. That would have been great for Dane. Less than 10 seconds difference now. 8 seconds difference between Dane and Zypeh going out of funnel catch. Now, for those of you who don't know, the early moonshot at the end of the game, if you miss it, you lose 8 seconds. So if these runners are within 8 seconds of one another, then it comes down to if one of them gets moonshot and the other doesn't, then whoever got moonshot wins. I do think Dane lost time, definitely. He lost time on Stop the Box. So not great for him. Zypeh finishing Laser Catapult at 29:02. I think Dane is going to be more than 10 seconds behind. I think.
Was self-destructing, already fixed. Programmed in one last tremor for old time's sake. 2, one or two.
Yeah.
All right, still
See if he
nothing.
messes this up. No, he's fine.
It's out of service.
Yeah, so he's 15 seconds behind Zypeh now. Go in the wrong direction, Dane. It's not good. I mean, he's close, but you want to be at least within 8 seconds. Zypeh didn't mess up Moonshot. So if you can be within 8 seconds of Zypeh and, you know, and hit Moonshot, then you have a decent chance of winning this. Oh, having a bit of an issue there. Zypeh had a lot of problems with prop catch last run. And if he has enough problems, Dane could be very, very happy with what happens here. Zypeh just barely makes it. I don't think Zypeh is doing that properly. Dane, oh, he's missing. Oh, yeah, this is probably the nail in the coffin for Dane, actually. because I think this is his third try at this. He gets it now, but at this point, I'm not sure how he recovers. The finales are pretty immune to time loss for the most part. Obviously, you can throw any map. It's always possible, but it's unlikely either runner throws the finales. So let's see how far apart they are going into Chapter 9. Zypeh exiting Repulsion Polarity at 30-31. I mean, they'll probably be within 20 seconds of each other still. With Dane messing up Laser Platform and Zypeh messing up Propulsion Catch. Yeah, okay, 11 seconds difference. That's, I mean, 8 of those seconds can be decided by Moonshot. Can be. If they both miss or both make it, then, you know, the 8 seconds is 8 seconds. But if Dane can hit it, then that's almost all of his lag behind Zypeh. And Zypeh messes up Finale 1. As I said, you can't really throw these, you know, I mean, he loses time there, but that's like, I mean, he lost enough time to get Dane within 8 seconds, provided Dane plays this, you know, okay. Dane also has to not mess up this flame like Zypeh did, and he doesn't. Oh, Dane hits his head, but okay. This is Zypeh's got to snag Fly now and do his weird route. I actually don't remember what route Dane did for Finale 2. I think we were paying attention to Zypeh finishing the run, is my guess, is why I didn't see. But I don't know what route Dane does here. Zypeh, I know, does his weird route, which he messed up. So that's going to lose him more time. So if Dane just plays a safe route that he knows he's going to screw up, then he'll gain more time on Zypeh. I'm not really sure how much faster Zypeh's route is than just the normal avoid the turret route.
Crashing's too good for him. First, he'll spend a year in the incinerator. Year 2, cryogenic refrigeration wing. Then 10 years in the chamber.
Okay.
All the robots scream.
And
Okay, I'll take that as a no then.
oh, uh-oh. Okay. So Dane has reported his time. This is because I offset his stream by 2 minutes earlier because of Zypeh's crash, so he's going to be finished in real time way earlier. It has to be slower. I feel like it is. I'm inclined to agree with you. I do sort of want to modify, though, the other route that you do to avoid the turrets by like landing on the rail and then strafing and like flying into the level change trigger. I feel like this would be faster than AD spamming because you spawn in on the ground in Finale 3 regardless. So I figured that could be a good optimization to do. I do like that his route does that. Okay, this is going to be close. So I know what Dane's final time is. It's not looking good for Dane.
What's the situation? Oh, hey, you pretty lady.
It's not looking good for Dane at all. But we'll see what happens here. Oh. Zypeh didn't get that bomb cycle. Oh, that's a big deal. That's a lot of seconds. Zypeh's not hitting... Wow, that's actually... That's crazy that happened to Zypeh. I'm not sure what was going on there, but... Dane does not hit Moonshot,
Please press the stalemate resolution button.
but at this point, Zypeh's timer is too late. Dane takes the race.
What? Are you still alive? You are joking. You are.
It's now 1-1. If you miss it, you lose 8 seconds. So if these runners are within 8 seconds of one another, then it comes down to if you miss it, you lose 8 seconds. So if these runners are within 8
I paused the commentary stream, by the way, because the commentary stream just started playing my own commentary for some reason. Okay, so we're in a bit of an interesting position. So right now, Zypeh doesn't have time to do another race, so he's forfeiting because he doesn't have time, but Dane is forfeiting because he doesn't think he deserves the win. So both runners are forfeiting at the moment. So right now I guess we're gonna see how this develops to see who they decide. I think Zypeh is gonna take the win here. Let me mark them done. But yeah, okay. Dane is forfeiting because Zypeh doesn't have enough time, and Dane feels guilty taking the win. So that's that. We're going to be doing post-race interviews then. Yeah, I think Zypeh is going to take the win here. Okay, let me mark them. Let me mark them done. Okay. Yeah, that was unusual. Hello, Zypeh.
I don't have a lot of time, so I'm gonna make it quick.
Yeah. I guess you're taking the win for that.
I'm not even sure. I think he's thinking about.
Yeah. Okay. Well, regardless, you don't have time, so it's
Who wins?
Well, I guess that'll be decided at some point later. But it looks like you're gonna take the win because I don't think Dane wants that. Hi, Dane. So how do you guys think your runs went?
The first one wasn't super bad.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was pretty uneventful for the first one for both of you guys, really. I mean, you both had like okay runs, no huge mistakes. It was all right.
Yeah, I was just like slow throughout, but I didn't have a lot of big mistakes.
Yeah. No, the second race was actually pretty close, and yeah, Zypeh, you were going to take it, and then something really strange happened on your third core, I think it was.
Yeah, the bombs just didn't work.
Yeah, that was really, really strange.
I don't know if I shot in the wrong spot or.
Yeah, I don't know what was happening there. Yeah, that was weird. Unfortunate though, that you didn't take that.
I also
last
crashed on Trust Thing.
Yeah, that probably lost you some time. Yeah, we got to watch Dane's stream freeze for 2 minutes while I.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good race, especially that second one. It was interesting because Zypeh, you seem to have issues with propulsion catch.
I think I failed it twice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And it was interesting because Dane was actually gonna take the lead, but then he threw right laser platform while you were throwing propulsion catch.
Oh yeah.
It's just a back and forth of the trolling.
And then there was finale 2.
Oh yeah, Zypeh had a bit of an issue on finale 2 as well last race with that, but yeah. Anyway, a good race. I don't know if you guys have any final remarks. I don't want to keep you here too long because I know you got to go, Zypeh.
Yeah, it was like a lot of fun. I played closer than I thought I would. Obviously, a minute and a half for the first one, but I haven't played since my last race, so I didn't figure I was going to do well. And
yeah, you haven't played the game at all, have you?
No.
I haven't played Speedrun mod since last.
Yeah, no, I figured you'd be focused on CM since that's most of what you do. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. There will be more Portal 2 speedrun mod tournaments down the road, and yeah, we're not sure who the winner is. Both runners have tried to forfeit, so that'll probably be worked out. So yeah. Anyway, check the bracket. I don't know what the command is to give the link to the bracket, but check the bracket to see who ends up taking it. I have a feeling that Dane's gonna give it to Zypeh because
Yeah.
Zypeh is probably more likely to beat Sushi in the next round. But we'll see what happens there. Anyway,
Don't be so sure about that.
I mean, yeah.
You got
okay.
more of a chance than I do. Let's be fair.
I mean, listen, I'm interested to see what happens because Sushi could throw. You saw what Ken Even did on his race against Burger 40. So if Sushi does one of those, then you know, starts to go into the realm of possibility. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching. Check out more Portal 2 streams and any other races that SpeedGaming's got going on. See you everyone.